Okay guys, so I'm going to make a couple of sounds here. I'm going to do one lead sound for drum and bass and one bass sound for drum and bass. So with this sound, what I'm going to do is go on to Matrix and I'm going to take my source, which is going to be an LFO1, and I'm going to send that to destination, which is going to be the global master tuning. Increase that slightly. You can hear we've slightly detuned the oscillator there. If I take the rate up all the way up to 1/64, you can see we're adding quite a bit of movement to that sound there. That's what it sounds like normally. So I've very slightly applied some detune to that one. If I take the rate back down to 1/8, you can hear the actual effect of that. I'll take it all the way up to 1/64. I'm going to set that to 3 voices, and I'm going to add the portamento slide, and I'm going to add my distortion, take that all the way up. The next effect I'm going to apply is a delay, so I'm going to take those both to 1/64, so it's a fast delay. Take the feedback down a little bit, and then I'm going to add a compressor. I'm going to check the multiband, increase the gain, and I think the last thing we need there is a reverb. So I've programmed in a little bit of MIDI there to hear what it sounds like. In this case I'm going to add oscillator B, and I'm going to add a, let's say, a triangle wave there. Take that up, say 7 semitones. So let's again add the analog basic shapes, and we'll go for a square wave. Okay, so here's another way of creating our bass sound. So what I'm going to do is do a slightly different way from the DnB womp bass I did last time. In the previous video I used an LFO sent to the filter to create that short wompy sound. Here I'm going to simply send an LFO to the 2 oscillator levels. So what I'm going to do is go default analog basic shapes and have a saw wave on the first oscillator, and I'm going to have a sine wave on the second oscillator, and chat that for a moment, and I'm going to draw in an LFO shape here and send that to the level of oscillator 1. I need to check the envelope so that it has the envelope on the level. And then I'm going to bring in oscillator B. I'm going to take that up 4 semitones. So we're creating almost like a chord, and we'll take the octave up 2. Like the lead sound we created, we're creating a sort of a chordial harmonic. Add the distortion, crank that right up. Apply the LFO to the level of oscillator 2 as well. So the real magic happens when I take the keyboard down in octaves and I play it lower down the keyboard, so we're getting our bass sound come through there. And I can bring in a compressor to really blow that out. So another thing we could do is add a sub. And we could uncheck oscillator A, so we've got more of a deeper sub bass sound. So there we have our basic drum and bass sound. So what we can do is just play with that now, sort of manipulate it further by, say, playing with the sub, changing it to a different sub, and really make it our own sound. Take the semitones up to 7, bring back in oscillator A, and just get experimental with it basically. And there we go, just another 2 ways of creating a lead sound and a bass sound for drum and bass.